All right, NBA live stream of consciousness. Rocking with you on a Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. Hit subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into it. Zion Williamson, ripped by former Pelicans teammate JJ Redick for not being a better teammate. The plot thickens. All right, so let's go ahead and look at it. Look at the article. Yeah, they ripped my man, say he ain't been a good teammate. I guess he's sonning my man CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum said he hasn't seen him, hasn't spoke to him directly. And then JJ Redick said this is part of a pattern that he saw when he was there, and that he called him out. It's a lack of investment. And this pattern of behavior that we're seeing again, when I was a teammate, I can describe to him as a detached teammate. That is an accurate statement. You know, to tell you the truth, listen, this is the thing. He don't want to be there, bro. He don't want to be there. It's simple. Why should I get to know CJ McCollum? I'm out next year. I put that in the next thing. I'm going to make a separate video of just Zion, why Zion's going to the Knicks, him being a detached teammate. Why would you get attached to someone that you know you're not going to see in 2 or 3 months? Zion's probably not going to play the rest of this year. He's going to take that 1-year qualifying offer and he's going to actually get traded to the Knicks. That's what's going to happen. He doesn't want to be there. It's just plain as day. Like, and I know he's probably, JJ Redick is attacking him, but JJ Redick is still maybe has his mind in this archaic system where that you are the top talent that you're in your sport and a team gets to pick where you go. Like say, imagine if the number one rated lawyer in Harvard's law school gets drafted by a law firm in Idaho because they get the number one pick. Like they don't do that in any profession besides sports. And maybe JJ Redick is just saying, and let me chill out a little bit, because maybe JJ Redick is just saying, show him some respect. You can still, even if you're not going to be there, you could just holler at him, hit him up. But I don't know. Maybe he's just not feeling it. I don't think he wanted to be there from day one. I just think, honestly, he's wanted to go to New York, wanted to be in a bigger market from day one. And then all this stuff comes about his weight. And, there was rumors that he was beefing with Stan Van Gundy. And then the GM trades his favorite player away and Lonzo Ball. And he's probably just like, man, fuck this. I'm out. I'm not talking to nobody. So, maybe he probably could have handled things better, but, Jay Ware saying that it's worrisome. I don't think it's worrisome. I just think he just don't want to be there. And maybe he just doesn't know how to verbalize it. So maybe, hey, be a bit more professional, but being drafted, having to work somewhere you don't want to work is not professional either. The NFL and the NBA and just sports leagues in general, what they ask of players sometimes is kind of ridiculous. It's like you've just finished a basketball game. You're still sweating from your adrenaline pumping. And then they come and ask you, how do you feel about the basketball game? And they expect you to have these bleach starch answers. And if you go out of the pocket, like say Doc Rivers did and Joel B did with Ben Simmons, then, oh, that's not right. You didn't do the right thing. Why? Like, how could you ask somebody a question in that scenario? That's like, for my 9-to-5 people, that's like you applying for a job. And then the minute you hear that you didn't get the job and they tell you who did get the job, they put a microphone in your face like, hey, fam, you didn't get the job. This other person who you think is less qualified than you got the job. What do you think? And they expect you to keep it 100. These guys are literally still sweating from the adrenaline pumping from the game, and you want them to have their reptilian brains are still kind of are working and still pumping, and you want them to have these bleach and starch answers. I think sometimes we put athletes, especially young athletes, this guy is young. He's only, 21 years old? And we ask them to do things, superhuman things. He's acting out a little bit because he's somewhere that he don't want to be. I get it. To me, I get it. So, Cuban, Doncic is unstoppable after being humbled. So now he was fat, he got himself in shape. Now he's unstoppable. You know, the Luka Doncic love is crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me. You know, I might have a video coming out talking about this, but it's just crazy to me, man. The man can do no wrong. He came in out of shape, played his way back into shape. You know, these are all things that James Harden did that you guys dislike. But all right, he's unstoppable. Another thing I wanted to talk about was LeBron's comments about wanting to play with his son, because there was a debate in my friends group about, does LeBron's son get drafted? And the answer is obviously yes, because if LeBron is a dual package with his son, what owner is going to say, no, I don't want LeBron James on my team? I forget about his play. You still can't argue he's not, at the very least, a top 5 player, and he's not 5. At the very least. And you could argue if it was one game to win everything, I would still probably take him. But you can't argue that he's not a top 5 player. Even if he drops 10 spots and is a top 15 player, the type of draw that he's going to be on a new set is if you're the Pacers and you have the 14th pick in the draft, are you going to draft some kid out of Gonzaga, or are you going to draft Bronny James, knowing that I get LeBron James, knowing that every game that I have is sold out, knowing that I'm selling hundreds and thousands of LeBron James jerseys? Come on, man. Stop it. LeBron James' son getting drafted, he's getting drafted high. I think a lot of GMs are going to go into that draft room. A lot of owners are going to go into the draft room and find a GM and like, listen, fam, we taking Bronny James. We're getting the James package. We're drafting Bronny James and LeBron James. That's who I don't care that you scouted this guy from Lithuania. That is, I don't care. I don't care this G League Ignite player average, his warp score is, we taking Bronny James, fam. We taking Bronny James. Just call me when it's done so I can send a private plane to go pick him and Brown up. Come on, man. Stop playing. People in my group and other people saying, well, I don't know if he's going to get drafted. He's number 39 in his class. Bronny James is going high in the first round. He's not just getting drafted. He's getting drafted high. If you're the Kings and you have the number 7 pick in the draft, you're going to take some guy out of Chattanooga State, or you're going to take Bronny James so Bron can come here. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me, man. He's getting that's a boss move, and I love it. I love it. This world, it runs off of, there's this theory that is this theory that most of the problems of the world have come from nepotism, from juniors running things, or sons of legacy kids running things. Like there's this quote that strong men make good times make weak men make bad times make strong men, and on the cycle goes and goes and goes and goes. So you could say, hey, the nepotism has kind of hurt us, but that's the game. Everybody should play it. Usually it's been the game of a certain set of people. And you look at the NFL, half of the league is coaches' sons now. Half the league is Shanahan and McVay, and it's just the top guys. Everybody's coming from their tree, from coaches' sons and GM sons' tree. Mick Lombardi, and that's the game. That's the game. So I like it. He's the first player, because of his longevity, that he's able to shoot that shot, because most players can't shoot that shot at 39. Say I'm that good, because you say that, like Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce said, Hey, Boston, man. Hey, NBA, wherever my son gets drafted, I'll play. They'll say, excuse me? I beg your pardon. Are you able to play anymore, Paul Pierce? I beg your pardon. Towards the end of his last season, I think he was like 36. He couldn't even play. I beg your pardon. So we haven't seen a guy with this type of, you have to be not only a good player, but you have to be a draw. Like, Karl Malone in his like 39th season was still 20 points and like a couple of rebounds, and Steve Nash. But Steve Nash going to the Pacers, you might get a couple. It's not Bron. It's not, it's not Mamba. It's not Jordan on the Wizards. You're not moving units like that. So you have to have your play and be a star, So it'll be interesting to see what team drafts him, but I think he's getting drafted lottery. Every draft there's like, these are the dudes, these is the guys, 4 or 5 guys, and then everybody else is yang. You might get a Giannis, like a player that comes out of nowhere, but every yang. After the first 4 guys, the next pick underneath it, we taking Bronny James. Bet. The Sacramento Kings will still be sorry back then. They sorry, man. So they'll still have a pick then. They still sorry. The Kings will still be sorry. So, the Kings. That's probably my odds-on favorite. Let me see if I can take it to a sports book. All right, let's end it there. 2 more days without basketball. Try to get these videos out to you as soon as possible. I'm learning this software. The last ones took me a long time, man. I'm getting quicker, but still not ready yet. But I'm going to start having them ready in the tuck, ready to go. So, but thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, leave a comment, and respond to all of them. Game is a game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.